What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Niners Lounge. You know, we are your four horsemen. I'm your boy Money Man. I got my boy Mike, which I'm finna. You know what? Before even that, I got my boy Ron and Drew. Turn your mic on, man. Say what's up to the crowd. What's up, buddy?
Yo, 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 what's going down?
What up? What up,
Starting,
What's
Drewski?
up?
starting spicy,
All right,
man.
so,
Come on, guys.
so I mean, like Ron said earlier, I'm trying to come through with the haymakers. Let's first question to Mike. We're gonna put this on record.
Let's do it.
If we do not win the Super Bowl this year, do you jump on my bandwagon? Not necessarily starting over, completely over, but move pieces around. Try something different.
It's circumstantial. Like if we just shit the bed and don't even make the playoffs, there's some major changes to be made. But say we make the Super Bowl and we lose it because of some catastrophic injury at the end of the game. Like those are different scenarios, and you got to kind of look at it like how hard why do you lose? Like the game is about evolving, right? So you want your team to constantly evolve, and I think we've been doing that. Like I've said before, last year we got McCaffrey. That was a huge piece that led us to our dominating run on the offense towards that later part of the season. This offseason, they've recognized that we're missing that piece on the D line. We go get Hargrave. So the team is evolving. They're noticing stuff that they're missing, and they're going to get it. So it's
Haven't we been evolving for 6 years now?
I wouldn't say that. I would say before last year, like what did we really do? We went and got Lance and then sat him, and it was kind of the status quo. It was the same old thing. But, I mean, you saw it. We got McCaffrey, and you saw the change. You saw instant change.
Hey, can I ask a question though?
The change continues.
So you say if we don't make it playoff or we don't make Super Bowl, we start over by rearranging pieces. What rearranging pieces do you mean?
That was my next question to Mike. Who do you go after first?
Who do you?
Whoa, hold up. Yeah, Mike wasn't rearranging anything. You were.
Yeah, so you
Hey, bro,
you've been bringing this up for the past 2
So-
years. You think the whole thing
I'm going for Shanny's head, bro. I'm not even gonna sit here and sugarcoat nothing. Straight for the jugular.
So, Mav, is there anything that will salvage you keeping Shanny as the head coach? Or is it just Super Bowl or bust? What will satisfy you to say,
It is
okay,
Super
or what will satisfy you to actually finally just say, you know what, I'm going to just go ahead and give Shanny the benefit of the doubt on some things? Or are you just completely out?
I'm not completely out. It is Super Bowl or bust for me. And I believe Shannon. Okay, Shannon, first off, Kyle is a good coach. I'm not going to say great coach. He's a good coach. He knows what he's doing. He's got a great system going as far as the system. But at the same time, if the system is not working, something needs to change in that system. First and foremost, for me, what would really, really change my mind about Kyle? Get rid of that damn ego. Second, take control of your locker room. Do not let your players run it. Third, be professional at the damn presser. You hear me, Mike? Be professional at the presser. If someone asks you a question, do not rebuttal back talking about some. What do you think?
I get it. I get that he gets sarcastic. He doesn't like the media. He doesn't want to deal with the media stuff. If he could take one thing about being a head coach away, I guarantee his first choice would be like interviews. I don't want to do them. But it's just like, don't ask stupid questions as well. Because there's sometimes they act like, who cares what Jimmy said? You know what? Get that out of the past. Like, why is Jimmy being brought up in press conferences? Who the fuck cares what Jimmy said about this team? Jimmy's gone.
But that's why it's being brought up. It's being brought up because he came out and said something about it. So, of course, they're going to ask him because the main thing to the media is to start drama. And that was the perfect time to do it.
It's their job.
Now, Mike, you just said something, right? You just said if that was one thing he could take away would be the interviews. That's fine. But at the end of the day, that's still part of his contract. That is still his job. So are the journalists. Whether it's a stupid question or not, it is still their job. So if they're supposed to respect his position, I feel like he should return the favor and respect theirs. They have a job to do just as well as he does.
I get it.
Whether
I think he goes back and forth with it. Sometimes he's respectful, and sometimes he's just had it with stupid questions. Like, what does that have to do with this team? Like, what did that accomplish by bringing up a Jimmy comment? Who fucking cares? Let's move on.
But the thing is, though, it's not like Jimmy been gone 2 years. It's not like Trey been gone 2 years. Those guys just got traded a year ago.
Isn't it?
I think questions about Trey are on the table. That's actually legit. But bringing up what a former quarterback has to say about the team, who fucking cares? That's nothing. That's for clicks.
Well, I think the line of hold on. So, isn't it fair to say that the line of questioning is about the quarterback position itself, like the whole process, his whole process around the position? If it's one thing you can knock about Shanny, it's his handling of the QB position, and isn't it fair to say though it's a fair question?
It is a fair question. I don't think it was stupid at all, just because of what you just brought up. It is that's his bread and butter.
There's a way to ask it. You can ask it directly about. There's some other way to ask it, addressing how he's handled QBs. Don't bring up some bullshit like Jimmy being sour kind of thing to do it. Like, there's other ways to be like, hey, you kind of missed on Trey. Like, how do you feel about this whole QB thing? But don't bring up what Jimmy said. Who fucking cares what Jimmy said? Jimmy needs to worry about Jimmy. Go worry about being the quarterback of the Raiders.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, it's not like Jimmy himself brought it up. Jimmy was asked about the Niners,
which is fine.
And he just left. I mean, so
that's just someone trying to get fucking clicks. They know it's gonna get it, but
a storyline, like I said.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though.
And especially,
but that's the thing, though.
How to go off the record and go crazy or have a little smart comment, guess what? There goes another news story. Because now they have a story about him acting out of character or whatever. It took him off his, it's going to find stories. Why not talk to Jimmy about Trey Lance? Because Trey Lance can take his spot, which now they let go. So then you get an answer from that. Now let's go to Kyle and ask him about what Jimmy said. And then Kyle goes crazy. Now we got another story out of that. This is how they get their money. They're going to do this every time.
And Kyle gets annoyed by it. And it is what it is. But Matt, let me
tell you. It is. And I think.
So
go ahead, Mikey.
If we were to fire Kyle Shanahan tomorrow, you realize there would be 30 other NFL teams that would fire their head coach immediately and hire Kyle Shanahan. The only two that wouldn't be in that game is us because we just fired him and the Chiefs. Every other team in this league, 100%, they would fire their head coach to get Kyle Shanahan to be their head coach.
And that's no doubt. And that is no doubt. And you know what they're going to get when they get Kyle? They're going to get the same team that Kyle had over here. A team.
Well, hold up, though. Like, wait, why do we got to fire him? Are we basically admitting that Kyle won't accept change? No one in that organization, everyone in that organization is absolutely fine with how he handles his business with the media. That's basically what we're saying, because I don't know, like, why fire him? Why can't you just say, hey, Kyle, like, is Lynch cringing? Are they cringing about it? Like, does anybody care about it? You know what I'm saying? I think the issue was that it was Mayoko, the biggest. I think he's probably the gold standard for journalists and shit, beat writers for the 49ers. And he snapped on Mayoko. That's where everybody's like, "Whoa, bro, it's fucking Mayoko out of all people." Relax. I guess that's my question. Bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to fire Kyle, but it's like, hey, bro, like, chill. What the fuck? Like, it's your job, dude. You got to answer questions. Just now, you're making it a story. And what's going to happen is if shit don't go right, you're just giving these talking heads more reason to talk shit.
Well, let me say this. From now on, Kyle Shanahan, listen to my advice. Take the high road, do the Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined. And that's it. Let's just go ahead and give him the help. I'm just here so I don't get fined. And this is how we answer it. You don't have to go through it.
Yeah, because let's be real, everybody's high on emotions. He's stressed the fuck out because he's having to cut people that he don't want to cut. He just lost 2 players he didn't want to lose, and he's having to answer questions. And these people are asking questions about the quarterback position. They're still wanting to know about Trey. Jimmy comes out and says shit, and then they're still wanting to know about Nick Bosa. And Kyle walks out there like, no, y'all don't need to ask me shit. They're like, well,
And then
Kyle,
hold
that's
on,
not
and
how
then
it
the
works, bro.
injuries,
We're
and then
here to exactly ask you about everything. It's like
And
Nick
then another
Saban.
thing too.
Nick Saban was like, I'm not going to put out my roster. I'm like, why would I put out my depth chart? It's like, well, that's what you do, Nick Saban. Like, what the fuck? Of course, that's what you do. So we can ask you about it. So, I don't know. Well, anyways, let's move on from Kyle. Let's move on from Kyle. We're going to talk about Nick Bosa or not? I mean, because where is our anxiety level with Nick Bosa?
Still hasn't
he
signed.
signed a contract.
What?
Nah, it just sounded good. I was just hoping because I've been
Like,
waiting.
that's his break right now.
I'm waiting for this, and I'm getting like Mike. Like, man, I'm like on a 1 through 10. I'm on a 12 because
Tomorrow.
now I'm like,
It's happening.
yo,
tomorrow.
it has to. Y'all keep saying, oh, well, he's not going to get traded. He'll be with the team, and we'll do this. Wait, don't get our hopes up for something
It's
that you're not
happening.
promising. We went from trade rumors
gonna
to
happen
he'll
tomorrow.
be there next week, but you're not saying nothing about a contract. You're just saying he's going to be with the team.
No, there's
Well, I mean,
there's no reading between the lines with the whole he's being with the team and not signing a contract. No, he's not going to be there unless he signs a contract. That's 100% a given. So it's I think Kyle and Lynch kind of put me more at ease. I was saying the 31st is the deadline for me, but because that's when Donald signed his.
see, you still trust their words, and they don't even be saying nothing, bro. I don't trust their words. I trust what I see when it happens. I'm not taking their words for nothing no more. They can say what they want to say. You see that face? You see that face? Didn't I tell you I was gonna have him stressed?
Yo, hold up. Are we concerned? Are we concerned at all about Nick just coming up a week before the season starts? Is there any concerns about
No,
the time
listen,
frame there?
As any other player, yes, but that guy stays in ungodly shape.
There's a difference between staying in shape and football shape, Mike.
I get that. But I think if he's there come Monday, or maybe they got Monday off for Labor Day, I don't know. But he'll be there for full practice next week.
I will
tomorrow.
okay.
I think this is tomorrow. Tomorrow,
even if Nick
contract.
even if Bosa was to step on that field week 1, you'll see. I'm pretty sure you'll see. Okay, Nick, he's a little rusty. He's a little this. He's a little that. It'll probably take him 2 weeks just to get back to Nick Bosa.
I think if so he signs tomorrow, he's there for full practice next week. He gets at least 2 sacks on Sunday against Pittsburgh.
2 sacks. Okay. I rock. All right, no, I rock with that. It's all good. It's all good. Since we talking about Bosa, then let's talk defense because I threw a shotgun at you earlier and I said we would not be top 5.
Which is ridiculous.
Well, hold up. Hold up. Before we go any further, we gotta know because he's about to sign, he's about to play. What's our take on how they've handled his contract?
It's hard,
Messy,
because we don't know what side of it is. Maybe he's being a little ridiculous. Maybe, like you guys have said before, he didn't want to do camp. Maybe this has been what it's been the whole time. Maybe it's been an agreement.
What you think, Drew?
what about
man, listen, it's just been a lot of up and down, a lot of mess to it. We all know that. We've said the drama, but I think it's something that they're going to drag out, and it's been an up and down thing, but hopefully an agreement is there.
Okay, which leads me to my next question because last offseason, we all sat here and talked about how they handled Debo's situation, and I said, I can't wait till we see how they handled Nick Bosa's situation next year. So how do we expect them to handle Brandon Ayuk's situation next offseason with some early predictions?
It's always going to be contentious with them. It's always going to come down to whatever. I still think there's a big difference between Bosa and Debo. One, this is the most money that this team has ever given a player. This is going to be the most guarantee that we've ever handed out to a player. this man is going to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the league when this is all said and done. So two completely different things there. Also, the Debo one was full of negativity. You had the agent bullshit. You had him requesting a trade. We've heard no negativity, nothing on the Bosa side. So I just think it's a super complicated deal that there's a lot of I's to dot, a lot of T's to cross.
Is Parag is still there, right?
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, he's the man that does it.
So why isn't that the one piece that we're talking about? Because I mean, when it comes to contract negotiations and stuff, that's one thing I would not hold Lynch and Kyle accountable for, because I believe they want to pay those players.
So if John doesn't negotiate the contracts, and John doesn't hold up real quick, if John doesn't negotiate, I'm sorry, Drew, he doesn't negotiate the contracts, he doesn't draft the players, he doesn't have personnel decisions, then what the fuck does John Lynch do?
This is all he is. This is all he is. A pretty face. That's it.
Okay, let's move on. Go ahead, Drew.
Nah, that's it.
That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, like for real. Let's talk like for real. We talked about how Parag has screwed players over before, and I've literally said this all season long last year that we don't pay players. We don't like to pay players. But then again, it never dawned on me that who's the puppet master that's really behind like these? We can't give him that much.
We don't know that though.
Can you really make that statement that we don't pay players though? Up until this year, we had the highest paid.
Yeah.
Jimmy was.
Kittle still paid high. The Kelsey. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jimmy was the highest paid quarterback at the time. Like we pay players, we do.
That's true. And we really do. No, we do. No, we do. Hold up. And I lost my train of thought. Go ahead.
Like it may be messy to get there, but in the end we do it.
No, I mean, why don't we pay them to keep them? I mean, like Debo, okay, was an example. Who else can I say that was an example that we actually paid to keep? Can't think.
Haven't we we've accused them of overpaying. We've accused them of keeping them players too long too. So to be fair, they hang on to players too long, and they've made bad contracts with overpaying people.
I believe Jimmy was the start of it, of the overpaying.
And we don't know. We don't know if that's the case with Bosa. If it really was a low ball. I mean, Kittle was open about it. Fred never said anything about it. Debo didn't ever mention anything.
Nah. I still think Chris Jones, I still think they're waiting on one of each other. One or the other.
Why is his contract have anything to do with the other guy? Wouldn't Chris Jones be more aligned with Aaron Donald?
No, well,
Joey Bosa just signed. His brother just signed. Don't you think that's what was the domino that needed to fall? His brother was working his deal out too.
Joey is what, second highest at his position?
I didn't even look at the numbers.
I think it is. I think he's like the second or third highest behind TJ Watt. And Aaron Donald contract was what, like 99 mil or something like that. And I think they were trying to get Bosa over 105. Or at least that's what he wants to get. So okay, let's play this scenario real quick. Let's say Bosa signs tomorrow. And he's the highest paid at his position. And then Jones signs the next day by 1 mil. Bosa, I feel like Bosa wants to be known as the highest at that position. Not the second, not the third. He wants to be the highest. You don't pay an
edge the same as, I mean, you talking about edge money. Like, edge money is like almost close to quarterback money.
It is quarterback money.
I don't know if that's on the same scale. We'll wait and see. You could be right. I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's what he's waiting on, to be honest with you. Well, Bosa's just going to get the biggest contracts regardless.
Yeah, if he's waiting, he's dumb. Because I think Jones, I think it's going to come down. I don't think Casey's going to pay Jones.
Right. You want not Nick Bosa money.
You want to talk about teams that don't pay people? Kansas City. They paid Mahomes.
Yeah, well,
they let people walk left and right.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Bosa doesn't want to miss a game check. That's not refunded.
Hey, we know Matt knows all about that. We know where Tyreek Hill went. We know you know all about that.
That's real favorite team.
So yeah, for reals. But anyways, so I guess just thinking ahead because that's what we do here. How is Brandon Ayuk going to handle negotiations next year?
I don't think
because it just
take that.
Debo's strategy was I'm going to wipe my social media out. I'm going to go ahead and just cause a ruckus per his agent. He was vocal. I think we knew Nick Bosa was going to be very quiet. He wasn't going to say shit, and he didn't because he's a pro, and that's what they do. Their corners are different, and then I'm curious to see how Ayuk's going to handle it, and if it comes down to it.
I'm going to throw out an Ayuk hot take here. I think they might try something different. Halfway through this season, if Ayuk is balling out, I think they throw out an offer to try to get him on the cheap.
I love that, Mike. Yeah.
I was thinking along that same line. Okay.
I hope they do.
I hope they do. That.
All right, so
if they don't, mind you, this is the same man who went on and posted $1K for a wide receiver number 2, and he wasn't happy about that. So if he don't get his pay, he will be vocal about it.
You know what Ayuk and Debo reminds me of? Growing up in the projects or growing up in the hood, right? Wherever you grew up at. As a kid, you always had these two friends. One was always like nonchalant, quiet, but you can't test him. And you got the other one, he's very, very vocal. He will let you know how he feels, and I believe that's Ayuk. I don't think Ayuk will sit back and just let it play out like that. It's either pay me or I walk type deal. I feel like that with him.
I agree. I don't think he's going to play those games, but I don't know much about his agent, and I do know Ayuk's very close to his parents. He doesn't have a lot of big entourage. He's got a very small, humble dude. So, I'm interested to see. But to be honest with you, I don't really see an issue with Ayuk. I don't expect one. Transitioning over to our roster reactions and the 53-man roster, I do see issues with Jennings going forward. I think Jennings is going to be the odd man out.
I think Bell's going to take over that for a little bit.
Yeah. I think when it's time to pay Jennings, I think he's not.
No, he's he's one of those players that we feel we can replace. He's going to walk.
Let's be real. Any wide receivers starting from 3 on down is expendable.
Yeah.
Am I right or wrong?
Any what?
Any wideouts that's number 3 on down is expendable.
I mean,
if you're not 1 and 2,
listen. You see how easy.
Well, you keep 5.
And KB had a nice playoff season.
It depends on the team because some teams have 5 really good receivers, bro. And I'm gonna just be honest. The Jets have good wide receivers, and I'm not gonna be a hater. They got those 2 young guys I seen on Hard Knocks. I started watching a lot of tape on them, and they're nice. We're yet to see in the season, but
I am shocked that Mecole Hardman looked like he looks right now over there with Aaron Rodgers, but he couldn't look like that with Patrick. Like he's actually making plays the back end of the end zone and stuff. I'm like,
but you gotta remember, you gotta remember when Miko was there and all this prime time, he was a big name when he was with the Chiefs, right? But they didn't let him shine like he was supposed to. He was supposed to come in there as a big name. He had Tyreek as his target. Then they was turning around, still adding pieces while he was there. It wasn't supposed to be no pieces added. They got him expecting, star play out of him, but then started adding different pieces, and it wasn't needed. Like y'all got Scantling, y'all got, excuse me, I forgot who the other dude was. They got somebody else, but when it all happened, it wasn't supposed to happen like that. Miko was supposed to be number 2 behind Tyreek.
But anyways, let's bring it back because we'll see how those 2 dudes play out. Let's talk about our guys because Here's ours: Debo, Brandon, Jawan, Ray, Ronnie, and Danny. And two of those dudes are hurt.
All expendable.
I mean, going into the season, two of those dudes are hurt.
Except for the 1 and 2, solid. Three on down, expendable. They'll let any one of them guys walk.
I was surprised Danny made the team.
Yeah. That was a shocker too, but they brought Tay Martin on practice squad, right?
Yeah.
I think Ronnie Bell is going to see himself playing in the third role a lot, third or fourth row, because Ray and Danny. So I mean Debo, Brandon. We're really rolling with Debo, Brandon, Jawan, and Ronnie Bell.
Okay, so is Ronnie Bell?
That's the 53 for us.
Is Ronnie Bell because I believe he's going to be playing more special teams, kick return and stuff like that. Maybe get a couple of series with the ones. But you're only carrying 5 receivers. He's gonna get PT if 2 guys are hurt.
Because all he needs is his time to shine in the season. And Ron Wright, he needs his time to shine. 2 guys hurt, he come in. They might not come back in whether they healthy or not if Ronnie show out.
But see, that's the reason why. I mean, okay, so who else do we have as a kick returner that could return right now?
Danny, Mav, understand the rest of the guys are on practice squads, Calvin Austin and them. So the 6 guys on the roster is those dudes. So the returners would be Ronnie, Danny, Ray. And
okay, so Ronnie would get most of the special team play, with majority of them, and I don't see him playing a lot of snaps as a starter. That's what I'm saying.
I think he'll probably get like punt return duties. I forgot who was getting kick return duties, but
Ray.
And then we cut Chris Conley. Yeah, but I'm trying to see where if they're going to be back for their injuries on time for week 1, because if they're not, that's a really shallow receiving core.
Ray said he's I don't see it, but
not only that's a shallow receiving core, but that's a lot of
Ray broke his wrist, Mav. Ray broke his wrist. So
he ain't coming back.
You know what I'm saying?
Come back soon.
Let's talk about tight ends. All right. So look at the tight end room. What do we think about the tight end room? We got Kittle, Warner, Dwelly, and then Braden Willis. Do we get better at tight end this year? We lost Croft.
Only if one of them.
And they cut Troy Fumagalli.
Only if one of them could play fullback and give Juszczyk a break or 2.
Didn't Fugali come back on practice squad?
I think they re-signed him on practice squad.
Okay.
Kittle hasn't practiced all offseason, which is normal because of the way he plays. They need to let his body recover.
He's hurt.
I don't think he's hurt. They're preserving him, bro. I don't know. I don't count Kittle as injured. It's just Kittle when he plays, bro, he plays brutal. So they need to make sure that guy's body is 100% going into the season. I don't blame him for that.
Yeah. He got a weak growing.
He got lower leg problems. And then we got Warner. We got Dwelly and Braden Willis.
I like Willis.
Yeah, I do too.
And then Cameron Latu was placed on IR, so he's redshirting. Here's our O-line. We got.
Y'all wanted him to do that anyway. I swear, one of y'all said that last week when we talked to him to sit out. You got what you wanted.
Yeah.
Part of the plan.
Y'all jinxed it.
I mean, bro, that was the news, though, bro. If you wanted to keep him, he had to make the team, then place him on IR and stuff like that, just so he can be on the team. Because if you would have placed him on IR, what is it? Oh yeah, he doesn't get a chance to come back, nor doesn't make the team or something like that.
Have we ever cut a guy that actually went on to be good somewhere else?
I don't think so.
You mean under this regime? Under Kyle?
Yeah, under this should have, but I mean all pro. Like we cut him. Someone picked him up, and he went on to be.
Can't really say. I don't think we have.
The other thing I wanted to ask is, so all the. I don't think so either. All the rookies they drafted made the team, and normally that's the way it goes. Does that make them the best players?
No.
Is it easier to cut undrafted free agents and expect that they're going to be picked up on practice squad? Yeah. So do you think we keep the right guys every time? Was there anybody that we felt like, no, I don't know why, why we kept? And is it even worth like mentioning, like, do these guys does it even matter? Are they going to do they even go anywhere and do anything?
That's a good question. I'm gonna let you answer that one first.
About the 2 linemen that went to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Do you really think those 2 guys are going to make the Cardinals anything special? I don't.
No. I seen
Wait,
that
who did-
everybody was going crazy about the center. What's his name? Ishmael or something?
He's like,
and I'm like, that's not going to change anything.
Yeah, no.
So Il Manning is probably a good guard. He's not a good tackle.
Yeah.
And he was the one that I hoped we were able to keep. But if you really think about it, I mean, is this just going to go be an all-pro with the Cardinals?
No.
Not at all.
Probably not. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of ruckus and shit, a lot of noise about some guys. And then we cut Jameson, who I like, to return. And then he got picked up by the Panthers. Do we expect him to go be a star with the Panthers?
They're not going to be a star.
See, I look at Kyle when his system, he picks the players that fits his schemes. That can actually, I mean, of course, that's what a coach is supposed to do. But he doesn't utilize their skill set. He wants you to do things his way. He's a dictatorship on that team. So it's like if you can't do it the way he wants you to, then news comes out about you, or you suck, or you can't do this, or you don't know how to do that. But then you go to another team, you might not be all pro, but then you got eyes on you like, wait a second. Okay, this guy's actually got some skills. This guy can actually play a little bit. So that's the only thing I'm looking for, to see how these guys go. But the most high profile player that we're going to keep our eyes on is Jimmy. He's the one to see, okay, do any players actually get success after leaving Kyle's system? No
That's
Borders,
the
what's
only
up?
one who could probably
No Border Sports says, what up, everyone?
What up?
And No Border also says, why is Charlie still here? I like Troy.
Charlie Warner over Troy
Responded to Drew.
Fumagalli.
Yeah, and he said, but we cut him to keep Zay can block Zakel. Sir, we are better. No. And we saw Nick sucking all preseason, and we saw Il Manning go good, and we kept the worst player. Okay, so let's talk about that. I mean, Nick Zakel, he didn't look too good. When we first drafted him, I had hopes for him. I said he looks good, but was he worth keeping over Il Manning, and do we know enough? And does it matter?
Again, it's that system, bro. It's that scheme, bro. Kyle wants people to do what he wants them to do.
Who makes the better backup, Zakel or Il Manning right now on this roster? Who's going to be the better backup? That's what it's not about the starter, because they got their starter. It's who's going to be the better backup.
So what, we keeping our eyes on Il Manning this year? Is that what you're saying? We're going to see if he's actually, if we made a mistake.
I mean, he went to the Cardinals.
I mean, we know
it ain't going to be shit. Like, does it make us a worse team to get him? in a Cardinals, a better team.
Well, we're reacting to the roster, so that's what we're doing. I mean,
we're reacting to one player, bro. We're not reacting to wins and losses for Cardinals. We want to see if he can be a difference maker on that squad, bro.
Yanni, I don't think he will be.
and No Border Sports says Colin John just love how smart he is and are banking on him figuring how to block. And I agree with that because we did say when he got drafted, he's interchangeable. He can play multiple positions, and he's a really smart guy. His issue is he played D-line in high school. He didn't get recruited as an O-lineman. He had to convert, so he's late. And I think that's what it is he's a late. He's a guy that we're going to see down the road, just like McKivitz, who, by the way, I like because of his raccoon hat. And then they've been working on him behind the scenes for a long time. He had really bad feet,
dude.
He worked out. What's that? His dad wears a raccoon hat when they drafted him, and I was like, I like this guy. And I think they cut him a couple times, and he stuck around, and he's actually starting to work out.
This is like it could be like Aaron Banks all over again. We thought he was going to be absolute trash. We don't know what they're actually out there evaluating. Like, sure, we see what they did in preseason games, okay, but there's something else. There's other things these coaches are looking for and they're evaluating.
I mean, can we go back to drafting players for their skill set instead of bringing them on a team and trying to change them, convert them? Can we stop?
Well, that's what they do, man. Hold up, time out, man. They draft guys based off. It is. They draft them off their strengths. You don't draft a guy based off their weaknesses.
But dude, why you draft, bruh? You just said it. The man played D-line. I mean, the man played what? O-line or D-line? You said, right? His whole career?
Yeah, but they're saying that we said they liked his IQ. Like, they're really big on your ability to understand and be interchangeable in the position. So they saw something in him that they liked that fits what they're trying to do. There's two guys on this roster that can be said that we can say that about: Jalen Moore and Nick Zakel, who they keep keeping around. They drafted these guys. So they obviously like something they do because they haven't cut him. Well, and then McKivitz, they cut him and they brought him back. So there's something these guys do that they like, and so far they've worked out. Name a lineman that hasn't worked out. Says, look, Nick looks like year one Banks in year two. We said that about Brendel, for reals. We sat here and trashed Brendel. The only guy that backed up Brendel was TJ.
Yeah.
He was the only guy that said Brendel is going to work out. Just have patience with him.
Yeah,
so here's our line: is Trent Williams, Colt McKivitz, Jalen Moore, Matt Pryor, who I really like, Spencer Burford, I really like, Aaron Banks, Jake Brendel, John Feliciano, who came from the Bills, and Nick Zakel. I think we look better this year.
I agree.
Okay.
I think both our lines look really solid against who was the last game? They held up pretty well.
We got to go back to Mav's comment about not being a top 5 defense this year.
Let's go.
Okay, let's talk about it because that's where we were going. Was D-line.
As a matter of fact, I'm gonna add on to what you asked, what you just said about us looking good. Do you believe that we have depth at the positions, every position on defense, like we had for the past 2 years with Miko and Salah? Do you believe we have depth at those positions? Is what?
It's comparable.
It's comparable.
It's comparable.
It's comparable. I love how Mike is such a salesman, bro. He never gets yes or no. It's like, potentially, maybe.
Just because I have faith in my team doesn't mean that I can't call it like I see it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody does. Mike's over there acting like he Ryan or something, thinking that his team can't do no wrong.
I didn't
He's gonna
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
really coming in with a take that the top defense in the league last year is going to fall below the top 5.
Why not? Why can't it happen? It's happened before.
Why?
So what are you banking
Okay.
on for them to fall?
Say what?
What
I
makes you
said,
think that?
What are you
banking
banking?
on for them to fall?
Defensive coordinator is going to be in the booth. He's not going to be on the line no more on the field, hyping up his players like the last 2 defensive coaches that we've had. He looks too. How can I put this? The nicest way. I think Steve Wilkes trying to copy Tony Dungy as far as like being a smooth, subtle guy who doesn't yell, who doesn't hype up, who doesn't do anything. But that's just not him. I just don't see him like as a guy that's going to motivate me to go out there and play like the defense in the past 4 years.
Did you see
I just
him?
don't see it.
Did you see him at camp? He was out there with the players.
That's Cam.
Okay.
I want him on the field game day. I want him to be just like every other coach that's been through those doors.
Be
on the field.
That's not his personality. You don't need that. Because Sarek is going to be the guy that does that for us this year. He's going to be the guy that's down there being the hype guy. I don't find anything wrong with Wilkes being up in the booth. He's going to be up there reading that offense. He's going to get a better view of it.
And plus another thing, has he ever coached that Y9?
So what you're saying is that your concern is the coach.
Yeah.
And the scheme.
I don't have faith in him. I just don't.
So it's not.
What specifically? He's just not a rah guy.
He's not that guy. It ain't about being rah or nothing. I just don't see it. He just doesn't present himself to me as that guy. I mean, I could be wrong. I hope that I'm wrong, but come on. You got passed up on twice as a head coach. Granted, we've seen it before.
He's actually been a head coach 2 times. He was just a head coach or interim head coach.
And both times, how long did he last? He didn't last with the Cardinals that long. Matter of fact, he was interim head coach twice. Cardinals and the Panthers, if I'm not mistaken.
Panthers, he should have been.
And
he should have got that job.
He should have, but he didn't.
He had that team looking good.
Oh, damn.
No Border Sports says, I shared your show on my community tab. Hope we get some troops in here. I appreciate you, brother. Mad love. We're here every Thursday, by the way, 7 o'clock Pacific time. So yeah, back to Wilkes.
I was waiting for you, man. I was like, yo.
I'm sorry, man. 10 o'clock Eastern. Thanks, man. My bad, fellas. My bad. A little bias there.
We know it's still sunny over there where you at. It's all good.
So, Mav, I mean, why? So you don't think his defensive rankings and his statistics, he's been in a what? So he's been a DC, a head coach, a DC, and a head coach.
Yeah.
And
if I'm not,
go ahead, Drew.
Let me ask you a question then. So you saying he doesn't bring the hype, right, for the defense? You don't feel he'll put that push behind it. So what's to say is he calls his plays, right? But you have that defensive leader down there like Warner who puts the fire under the defense. Players can't do that with their own players because, I mean, we've seen it happen. So say he leads that defense as a team leader.
You know what?
Puts that fire under.
You know what? I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna give you guys a comparison real quick. Like for me, for example, if I'm playing for you, I consider you my father. I want you to hype me up. I want you to say, I believe in you. I want you to tell me go out there and do my job and get it right. You know I can do it. You up there? What I finna just look at you and be.
Yeah, isn't it motivational to be down there with your troops like he has in camp? Like literally out there on the field, showing these guys, making them better.
But camp is camp. Camp is camp. I want him to be on the field with me every Sunday.
These guys
camp is camp for a reason, though. I mean,
I want my daddy. Listen, I want my daddy to hold my goddamn hand and walk me to school every Sunday,
Listen,
David.
if you need a coach to keep motivating you every single day, then you probably shouldn't even be in the league.
Look at the top 5 defenses last year. How many of those defensive coordinators were out there that were all hype men?
I mean, people hype. Okay, people get hyped up in all type of ways, in different ways. Okay, I get you, but
Okay, so you want a Sala, you want a D'Amico type coach. You felt like they were the guys that they were out there on the sidelines, intense, all gas, no brakes type of guys. That's what you feel the fire we're gonna lack this year with the defense.
I would feel much better if that was to happen. If he's out there if he's out there on the field with his players.
Mav, did our D-line get better this offseason?
Dude, we on the decline. We on the decline. I'm just saying. I'm just being honest.
So you don't think Hargrave was a big get? No?
I think he's gonna get smoked, bro. Nick Bosa is the only thing that's gonna save him. Honestly, I think he'll get gashed.
Why do you say that? He was the top free agent this year. Why do you say?
Well, you could be the top free agent any year and still don't do nothing with another team. Like
David says, hold on real quick. Ryan, what up? Still talking with Brian and Peachy. Don't know what that means. But what up, David? Thanks for joining. And No Border Sports says, what up, David? Thanks, fellas. I appreciate y'all. Go ahead.
Oh, snap. He still believe that we doing red and gold? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I think
it is. I think he does think
I'm not, not sure what's going on, but anywho. So yeah, I mean, D-line wise.
I'm gonna toss up on that one. I'm not even gonna give you a definite answer on that, but I do believe we're gonna get ran. I think we're gonna get the ball ran down our throat this year. Honestly,
I can't believe you think Hargrave was not an upgrade.
Dude, I don't have to sit there and agree with everybody.
You don't.
Just because I'm,
Put that Miami hat.
So here's.
I was about to say that. I was like, you know what, Mav is believing in his Miami right now, and he's
so
should we do division winners right now because you guys are ready for it? I mean,
let's go.
All right, okay,
let's go.
Go ahead, Mav. Take us to it. Take us to it. Since we're talking about top defenses, we're going to start off with the NFC West because I think I know where Mav's going to go with this one. Go ahead, Mav. Let's go NFC West. Let's talk about it.
Thank you, Nick.
Who am I saying? Let me see if Mike could guess. Go ahead, Mike.
NFC West?
Yeah, who am I going with?
It better be Niners, Seattle, Rams, Cardinals.
I'm gonna go Seattle, Niners, Rams, and Cardinals. How about that?
What is wrong with you?
That's nothing. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not gonna sit there and keep talking about, oh, my team gonna get division this year. My team gonna get division. Yeah, I'm hoping for them. I want them to get it.
Man.
What's
Seattle,
up? Yeah, I'm gonna say Seattle. At least they won the Patriots.
Mavs really sold on Seattle.
It's still over Seattle winning.
At least it
West.
I'm telling you, as long as Rocket Geno Smith is the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, I do not fear them.
Okay, Mav, let me help you out here. Hold up. Let me help you out here. Let me just recap, make sure everybody understands your train of thought so they don't think we got a 49er fan really cheering on the Seahawks. You think we're taking a step back with our defense.
We are.
Kind of not really sold on Purdy. Not too sold on Kyle this year. And you like what Seattle's doing in Seattle over what we're doing in the Bay. Does that sum up your train of thought?
It does, but it's not that I'm not sold on Purdy. I just feel like he got rushed back too quick. We have yet to see him play a full game, so we really don't know what that arm's gonna look like. We don't know if it's gonna get better. We don't know if it's gonna hurt him worse. And I'm almost positive, bro, that we'll see Sam Darnold. I'm almost positive that Kyle wants to put Donald on that field.
Oh my god.
Why would you say that?
Dude, he's rushing
So,
back too quick, man.
No
That
Border
rush
Sports
back too
says
quick.
Hargrave is going to be a beast this year, Mav. On that
That's fine.
defense, he's going to plug the run. And he said Mav is a Jake Bobo fan. It's true. He is a Jake Bobo fan.
I don't even know who the hell Jake Bobo is, but it just sounds funny.
Mav, you also have us splitting the series with the Cardinals.
Do you still stand by that take from earlier?
Yeah, he's standing by that. And he's
Dude,
serious.
isn't that the deal with us? Whatever we say, we got to stand by it, regardless.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so
It is. You can't flop.
Take it back. I can't take it back. So I'm sticking with it.
Did you hear that, Drew? You can't take it back.
Yeah, Drew got to stick with the Patriots winning the two.
Certain circumstances change situation.
No. No.
So No Border Sports says, I think he's siding with Mav on this one. He's saying, we've yet to see Purdy throw that deep crosser.
Yeah.
We've yet to see him play a full game, too.
What? He's played a couple.
Oh, my God.
What, preseason?
No, he means since coming back from injury. He hasn't played a full game.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
All right. Hold on. So you want to be realistic on this, right? He wants to be realistic on this. Is what he's getting at. Still,
I got my back.
realistic. So even being realistic, and say you're right, Purdy goes down and we end up putting in Donald. You're still going to tell me that Geno's going to do better than Donald? And I don't even like Donald, but you're going to tell me that Geno's team is going to do better than a Donald-led 49ers. And you're telling me that Seahawks defense is going to be better than ours.
Okay, we see this year in and year out, right? A team that's been on the downhill for like God knows how long, right? And all of a sudden they start moving in the right direction. A team that's been on the mountaintop for God knows how long, eventually got to start falling down. I honestly, I don't want to see.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. That takes me back to why I picked the Patriots. But keep going.
God. Like,
yo, real quick, I gotta say what's up to my boy Bashar. Yo, 49er Modded, thanks for joining. And No Border Sports says, how the bleep are we dropping a game to the Cards, man?
Yeah, explain your story. We're dropping a game to the Cards.
Listen, bro. Listen. Any given Sunday, right? Anything could happen. Anything could happen. Any given Sunday. I can't take it back. I got to ride with it.
You want to take it back, though, don't you?
Man,
be real with it.
Put it
be
down.
real with it.
Yeah,
put it down.
I do want to take it back because I do want to take it back for the simple fact that, okay, yeah, I should have said Seattle, but I didn't.
Darnold is a Trojan horse.
You see what I told you? I even say he can give us 5 games. I've even said that. So
not giving us anything. Purdy's going to stay healthy the whole damn season.
5 games? Why are you so 5 games from Darnold?
I say he can win us 5 at least. Shit, I ain't gonna give him no more.
So, just to recap, you got the Seahawks winning the division over the Niners.
Yeah.
Are we gonna allow him to flip on this one, fellas? Because he's
we're gonna hold his feet to the fire on this one.
Hold my feet to the fire on it.
And then we meet in the playoffs, or what's the outcome here?
Oh, we make the playoff. Meeting in the playoff.
So I mean, that's gonna mean
I'm
they
not gonna say that. I'm not.
So
gonna
if
say
they win the division, that means they go into the playoffs, right? That means we probably stuck with a wild card.
Right.
And we're gonna have to travel.
That doesn't necessarily mean that we play them because they might get knocked out before we even.
So convince us on Seattle. What do you like so much about Seattle? And he said Mav's been drinking.
No, I've been smoking.
10 million for 5 games. Big difference.
No,
It sounds
I
like
don't know.
you
I
like the
just
QB over ours. It sounds like you like the coach over ours. It
And the
sounds like you
defense.
like their defense over ours. So it sounds like you like their
dude,
team over ours.
So dang, he
dude,
Miami and Seattle fan.
they're
Golly.
let's be real, bro. They're climbing, bro, and we've just been like,
Now,
okay, when is our time?
Drew, to be fair to Mav, his take right now is he's over Kyle. He's done. He feels like
That's what it really
it's the
is.
beginning of the end. That's what it is. It's what it is. It's the same thing. It goes back to Kyle and his
All right.
belief that we should blow it up.
Okay, the back math. I get it. I get it. I get it. And as a fan, I can say I'm tired of getting to the top just to fall too. And you can go, we got to have somebody to blame. It's not the players when they're going out there doing stuff. You look at the quarterback situations with Shanahan. We've had quarterback injuries or something with a quarterback every year under Shanahan. I get what you're saying. But before you get to that point and before you start picking other new teams, let us start and get this season, man. And just at least get to
Bro,
that.
I've been a Niners. Listen. I've been a Niners fan since '94, man. I'm not gonna keep repeating it, bro. There's no switching no other teams. I take the good and the bad, but doesn't mean that I can't talk trash about what I don't like, what's pissing me off.
Oh, most
Team.
definitely. Because
So,
I can tell you some
so
stuff
then,
bad and the good. I told y'all today. I feel only thing about the defense. What I say I don't like the linebacker situation. Call it what it is. But I'm not about to say we're about to split up with no Cardinals. Come on, man. That dumpster fire, that's
see,
the best of a team. And you like, yeah, we're gonna
Well, No Border Sports at least thinks you made good points because he said, well, Seattle will be good, but it may take a year or so. So they don't think you're crazy. They think you've been drinking, but you're making valid points.
nah,
And
I would agree with that. Oh, hold on. I would agree with that year or so if the division was solid. That division is not solid. There's only two teams in that division, really. It's not solid. So go ahead.
Go ahead, read that one, man.
I'll say this. I made excuses for Kyle for years. I defend him to the point where I was yelling back and forth with people, but from here on out, it's 2-year window for Kyle.
2-year window.
I say this is
Bashar
right
says
here.
it's a 2-year window. Drew, what's your window with Kyle?
I told y'all last week, I feel like it's a make it or break season with him. And I still stick to that this week. I feel like it's a make it or break season with him because, I mean, look at how we did with past coaches. Look how we did with Harbaugh and how things went with him. So what would make it different that, we can keep getting to the playoffs and you keep somebody. That after a while, your goal when you got hired was get us to the playoffs, win a Super Bowl. We've been to the playoffs. We've been to the playoffs. We've been to the Super Bowl. You still haven't pulled that last part off. So when do you keep saying, okay, let's give him another chance. He got us to the playoffs. Oh, let's give him another chance. He got to the playoffs. Oh, let's give him another chance. He got us to the Super Bowl. Now we're back at the playoffs, and we're still having quarterback injuries. So, I mean,
if I wanted a yo-yo,
huh?
If I wanted to play yo-yo, I'll go buy me a freaking yo-yo because that's all the freaking guys are doing. Yo-yo with us. They're getting us right there, and they'll be like, oh.
Hey,
almost had it this.
I'm telling you, it reminds me of the little fisherman. Like, you got to be quicker than that with the little dollar bill.
See, I promise you, every time I look at Kyle, bro, that's what I see. Almost had it. Bro, really? I want it, bro. Let's grab it.
Listen, because I'm gonna be honest with you. That Chiefs Super Bowl should have been ours, and we all knew that. How we had that first half and how everything switched. Any fan of ours, including the Chiefs fans, was like, "Oh, we're done. They are done." We all knew that was our Super Bowl, and all of a sudden, let's switch up. There was no point of switching up to something that we was winning with.
No Border Sports says Kyle sucks at all things QB. And Greasy helped get Purdy ready. It sure wasn't Kyle. And I live up here in Washington. Yo, what up, man? Washington.
Okay.
And Bashar says, ha, ha, ha. I say, yo. You can't play with my yo-yo. So I mean, do we really want to resurface the Super Bowl? I mean, no, we don't.
Dude, okay. There are certain things, bro, you just cannot let down. You're gonna talk about it as long as Kyle is still a 49ers head coach and he's had players that's probably doing better than him or worse. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about Jimmy. We're gonna talk about Trey. We're gonna talk about the Super Bowl that we should have won. All those things are gonna be part of his legacy. It really is. So it's no escaping that. As long as he's still a Niner, or matter of fact, as long as he's still in the lead, those conversations will still hunt him until he wins one.
Okay, man, let me ask you something because you just made me think of something. Okay, say we get it this year. We grab a bowl.
Okay.
Finally. Come back the next year and just back to the playoff. Do you still get rid of him or do you keep him because he got that bowl win?
Dude, Kyle gets a Super Bowl ring. Then it's a whole new list of excuses that we're gonna be making up for him for why he can't get back there or why he can't win another one.
Okay, but
or why it's taking him so long.
You're the one that's on edge with him. We win a Super Bowl. Does that reset the clock for you with Kyle?
He gives me my Super Bowl. I'm still not gonna give him no pass. I'm gonna treat him the same because I know that headache.
So then, what more do you want, Mav? What more do you want if he gets you a ring?
You flat out said you want the man to get you a ring.
At what point are you happy then? Or are you just a Kyle hater?
No, listen, he gives me my ring. I'm happy. I get to finally see the Super Bowl, the 49ers win a championship as an adult, not a kid, as an adult.
Why does it not reset for you? Why did you literally just go back saying you'll find more excuses?
Dude, he wins a Super Bowl. It opens up a whole nother window of excuses that people are going to be making up for Kyle of why he can't get back there or why it's taking so long or why is this, why is that. Like, this man will always get a pass no matter where he goes. No one will ever hold him accountable, nor will he hold himself accountable. I'm just being honest with you.
How do you feel? He gets us the Super Bowl this year. Say we get to the Super Bowl next year, but we lose. What's your stake? Do you think he should still be fired?
Still. Hey, look at his face.
I mean, brother, he gives me one this year and goes back next year. I can't say nothing about him being fired. I can't. I really can't. But my opinions will still stick to him. You feel me? Like, real talk. That's who he is. That's just because he won one. That's just who he is. He gave it to me. Yeah, I appreciate it. I would celebrate the hell out of that damn ring. I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it.
What if he wins you 3? He wins you 3.
Oh, if he wins me 3, you know what? I'll shut the hell up about Kyle forever. I won't even say nothing about him at all. Like,
49er Minder said, I'll say this. If we do win with Kyle, imagine how big his head is going to get.
Oh,
he might retire.
I think his head would explode.
Yo, Corey Davis says, I'm a subscribe to your channel and thank you, No E-Border Sports, for sending the link. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for watching.
Yes, sir. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you one thing too, man. If we all agreed on the same tape, this show would be boring as hell.
Oh no, I agree.
Well, that's exactly why we do this shit.
I mean, I need somebody like me throw some hard.
You've been coming in with a hot take tonight. Let me tell you.
Hey, he got that hurricane pack tonight. I told y'all know what he got.
Man,
yeah,
shit.
You sure a couple of packs didn't flood out to the shore and you caught some and shit or what?
No, I didn't go swimming. Listen, I didn't go paddle boarding or truck or whatever you call it, truck skiing. However they do it, they drive the truck right through the damn water, pulling somebody in the back. Like, yeah,
but some of your
come on, man. I didn't do all that.
Okay, real question. Serious question, though. Serious question. If Kyle wins one, is he finally allowed to act like Kyle with the media and be like, you know what, y'all can go ahead and kiss my ass now?
Hell no. He still gotta be professional, bro. He could say it in his head. He could say it to the side, but just don't let that bit be broadcast.
I only say it in the Super Bowl. I only say it in the Super Bowl interview right after you win. Then, back to professional. You're right, man. They got to say,
Oh snap!
Wow, Kyle be looking like Daryl Strawberry on The Simpsons. Daryl. He wipes his tear.
No wonder you about to have me go watch the Simpsons on episode, man. I'm so serious. You about to
Right?
have me go watch that.
No, you know what?
Everyone's
I'm just convinced.
Wasn't
ahead,
that when they
Mikey.
had the big head?
Yeah.
That's what he told.
Yeah, when Ken Griffey kept drinking all that juice potion and his head blew up.
Bruh, oh
And it,
my
yeah. I can't see that. So, anyways,
Where's your order for the NFC West, Drew?
Drew,
yeah.
NFC
what's
West.
your
Stop,
what's your order?
Stop thinking, man. You better say one.
We
You
got
know
off
what?
track here with Mav.
Hold on.
With Mav A. Smith, we got off track here. What's,
I like
go
that.
ahead, Drew.
Hey, he want to yell at him like skip, math. You about to get the skip treatment and ain't be able to say nothing else on this show.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. Pick the Eagles, man. Go ahead.
I know I got my Niners up on the top of that. And then I'm gonna have to go with the Seahawks, but
I thought you were supposed to be bad too.
nuh-uh. I might put Cardinals over the Rams.
No.
You know what?
You know why?
Why not?
Yeah.
Plain-
I mean, listen, I said Seattle, Texas, so okay, I'll take your take for it, bro. You say you might want to put the Rams. I'll let you take that. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Drew. Finish your take. Why?
Like seriously, every year the Rams have been going down lower and lower. After that Super Bowl, it's been lower and lower. So what is it that's going to bump them up this year? What did they honestly really change?
They still got a little bit more than the Cardinals.
Cardinals is going to, man, listen. Cardinals is going to Cardinal. I can't say nothing else about that. But out of suckier and suckier, one's going to suck more than the other. I'm just going to pick this one. I'm just going to throw that out there.
That's fine.
I mean, the Rams Matthew Stafford, so they're a little bit more relevant than the Cardinals.
But Stafford didn't do nothing. Look at the record last year.
So is Stafford playing this year?
Hold on.
Or is Stetson Bennett playing?
We can rewind this tape, right? We go all the way back to Ryan's show. And when Stafford and them won the Super Bowl and we all talked about it, I told y'all then it was an accident. It was an overrated Super Bowl and it was an accident. We know how things planned out, the whatever tactics they used, but he should have never been there because we dropped the interception. The next season proved it, and look at the record. Listen, man, he been overrated. We all know he's been overrated. They got high on him, and he makes a couple good passes. I mean, he did exactly what he was supposed to last year. So, changing this year, he's going to try to do a little better, throw a little bit less, more interceptions. Who knows? If Bennett don't take over, it'll be the same. I think Bennett will end up taking over by mid-season.
Whether Bennett takes over or not, he'll be the quarterback next year.
Who, Bennett?
Yeah.
You think he will?
I believe so.
All right. I'm not arguing.
No Border Sports says, see what I mean, man? I can't even get through my monologue. And I want to get Stetson. So I want to ask you guys, are the Cardinals are the Cardinals that bad? Are they going to be as bad as everybody expected them to be?
They already confused.
100%.
100%.
100%.
Are they going to be the worst in the league?
What's bad to you record-wise?
I think they'll struggle to win.
First round draft pick. The first pick.
2 wins. If that.
They struggle to get 1 win this year.
No, I'm going to give them 3 because they got to get 1 over the Rams. So they'll have 3 wins.
Do they struggle to get the win, or do they literally just don't play?
It's going to be they struggle. 1 win. I'm calling Cardinals get 1 win this year.
1 win? Come on, Mike.
Whoa.
Who they they let go of Colt McCoy and kept who? What's the quarterback name?
Dobbs.
Dobbs.
And Dobbs.
Dobbs.
Hold on. And Dobbs is
So
the first 3 to 4 games because Kyler Murray has a unrelated something whatever that he ain't gonna be playing. So there's 3 to 4 games that he's not playing because it's not even a full injury. When you look it up, it's like unrelated football, whatever it is, that he'll be taking time off the field for 3 to 4 games.
Call of Duty's coming out.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Mike?
Call of Duty's coming out.
Oh man! And then you got Dobbs playing. I mean, when the last time Dobbs started?
okay, so Mike said he sees them winning one game.
You gotta give him a little
And
bit more credit than that, man.
Tell me when I'm lying. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
So-
we will at the end of the season.
I'm just gonna give mine real quick because I got the Niners, of course, the Seahawks. I was back and forth with Drew, Cards and Rams, but I think I'm gonna give Rams the edge over the Cards. So I'm gonna just stick to Rams and then Cards. Let's jump to the East though, because we didn't do the NFC East. Who wants to kick off the East? Mav, you kick off the East.
All right, before I kick it off, you know the funny thing about the NFC West is that Niner fans are gonna pick the Niners to be the leaders, right? And Seahawks fans are gonna pick the Seahawks to be the leaders.
And
So-
Cardinals,
But
Seahawks fan?
49ers.
no. The one thing that the Seahawks and Cardinals fans have in common is that the Rams and the Cardinals are on the bottom. That's the only thing we got in common. It's easy to flip 1 and 2. Even if it's about one game.
No Border Sports says Stetson has the same resume as Brock, and he also said he wanted to get Stetson. And Bashar says, "I wish the Cardinals didn't sign Il Manning." I'm with you on that one. And No Border Sports says Cards are getting worse by the minutes. Cards hired the guys whose secondary was about to get exposed by us and got exposed on tape by the Chiefs.
I agree with that.
And I do a show with the Seahawks fan that says the 49ers will win the division. Even Seahawks fans are saying the 49ers are going to win the division. Mav?
Just said that.
But it's,
All right,
I'm saying it's easy.
Move on. Let's go to the East.
It's easy to flip those, even if it's about 1 or 2 games. It's easy to flip those. But
Mike's right. We're gonna move on. So here's what I got for the East. I got the Eagles. I wanted to say Giants, dude. I wanted to say Giants, but I didn't want Mike clowning us again about the Giants.
I got a hot take for this one, guys. You're gonna roast me for this.
If Mike says he's going with the Giants, bro, I'm gonna lose my shit because he's been talking all this shit about the fucking Giants, dude.
especially when I said they were going to take
And Daniel Jones, right. When we said we like Daniel Jones, he was talking all this crap. All right, anyways, so I said Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, Commanders. Go ahead, Mike.
No, let's save me for last.
All right, go ahead, Drew.
I got Eagles, Giants, Cowboys, Commanders.
And I got Giants, Cowboys, Eagles, Commanders.
You got the Giants winning the division.
I got the Giants winning the division. Let's go.
Okay.
Why?
I don't know, man. I mean, I just like Brian Dable and what he did, what he was able to do with Daniel, bro. Like he really brought out the best in that man. Like he actually got him to play like Daniel Jones should have been playing when he got signed, bro.
15 touchdowns. That's some great quarterback play.
Dude, he got the team moving, didn't he? I mean, then Shaquan got most of the touchdowns, right?
What your formula on the your winning formulas? You like the coach, you like the QB, you like the defense. That's what you're saying you like about the Giants over and the running back over the Eagles, over the Cowboys, over the Commanders.
Actually, I got a dark horse of a wide receiver on the Giants squad, and it's Isaiah Hodgins.
Don't sleep on Hyatt
He's
either.
Yeah, Jalen Hyatt.
Okay. So you got the Giants, and then who else? Cowboys.
Cowboys, Eagles, and Commanders. And for some odd reason, I just feel like even though we said last season our division was supposed to be the toughest, or 2 seasons ago, I just feel like the East is going to be the toughest division in the NFC this year.
Hey, let me interrupt you though with a cool fact right now. This season, we have the chance to dominate our conference plus theirs because we play every team in the NFC East this year.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun to see.
And let's not act like every time we play an NFC East team, they don't give us trouble. We don't just steamroll over them.
The Commanders we steamrolled.
Well,
I'm just saying.
You guys ready?
Mike, who you got?
All right.
Come on, who you got?
This one's gonna be fun to come back to the end of this year. I'm going Commanders, Eagles, Giants, Cowboys.
You're going with Sam Howell?
I am.
and Terry McLaurin,
I am.
no running game.
John Dodson.
Watch it. Eagles are
Okay, why you like? So what's got you liking the Commanders?
I'm going to tell you my reasons why the other teams aren't going to be the top team in that division, and that's why I picked the Commanders. I'm not picking the Commanders because of the Commanders. I'm picking the Commanders because of the other teams in that division. Let's start with the Cowboys and why they're going to be last. Mike McCarthy, play caller, is going to be the worst mistake that team has ever done. They are going to look like absolute trash. They are going to be jokes. Mike McCarthy is done after this season. Dak probably might be in danger as well because his
he is in danger.
His interception record is going to stay intact.
Dak's on the hot seat.
No, I agree. Giants.
Okay.
Cinderella story last year. That whole team's turning into pumpkins. I'm sorry, but Daniel Jones getting paid $40 million a year is a joke. That guy threw 15 touchdowns in last season, and he was considered their next guy. Next, Eagles. Super Bowl hangover. And one of the I'm gonna knock them for one of the things that Shanahan doesn't get enough credit for. He knows how to replace when he loses his coordinators, his coaches. He's got next man up. I don't think the Eagles head coach is going to do it. He lost his offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator.
Yeah, they've lost too many big pieces.
Good luck.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because of those reasons for those teams, that's why I put the Commanders on top. Not because I think they're going to
go. So Mike, I know you was a fan of the comment then that Hassan came out and said, right?
Oh, yeah, he's ready for it?
Okay. Yeah. He said he's ready because we talk so much trash.
December is going to be fun. Want to talk about trash? What about them complaining about a wet field? Last time I checked, 2 teams play on that same field. You don't hear that team bitching about it.
Hey, we never got pictures on your tour of Philly either.
Oh, I got.
We gotta see them. We gotta see them.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know. He came with it. I liked it. Jackson's pretty good. I don't know. I don't got shit to say.
The end of the season show is going to be fun when we come back to some of the hot takes.
I can't
wait. I agree.
Actually, you know what? I'm finna go on the market right now and get my tickets either tonight or tomorrow for Jacksonville.
Okay, let me know.
Yep. But with that being said, I think we should just end it on that nice take for Mike because it was just too hot. Go ahead, Mike. Close us out, brother.
All right, guys. We are a little. Actually, no. We are exactly 1 week away from real football. Next Thursday, the season kicks off. Best time of the year. Go Niners. They're winning that 6 this year. Mark it.
Yes, sir. Go Niners.
Hey, Mike.